Good morning, Zoo here, and today we're talking limited run games because I didn't get to last week. So grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? So, limited run games, one of those companies that fosters what is the word? Inclusivity, diversity, that sort of thing, until you have the wrong opinion, political opinion, which then they will discriminate against you very quickly. As when they recently fired one of their community managers because apparently they were following accounts that they have deemed unacceptable to follow. Now, why did this happen? Of course, real quick rundown. Apparently, some NPC out there got insanely ticked off that their community manager was following certain accounts like libs of TikTok and some other accounts or whatnot. So they decided to dig through their entire history to find something and attempted to cancel them and limited run games, of course. Instead of, ignoring said person, went with the outrage mob and deleted them from their employment. Since then, of course, people have been highly upset with limited run games, but it isn't as many as you would think. Or at least it doesn't look that way when you look at things like the Social Blade and stuff. When it comes to limited run games, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm never going to buy from them again because I've never bought from them to begin with. However, limited run games is one of those companies that has a niche following to it. It's one of those. What they do is they essentially take things that are digital only, put them on disc, and you can purchase them and they're shipped to you. So you have a physical copy for people like myself who prefer physical copies over, the digital only format that we have found ourselves in this day and age. Now, as much as I don't agree with their decision to can their community manager because they have done nothing wrong, in my opinion, outside of apparently following wrongthink, or at least listening to wrongthink, or at least, following them on Twitter and such, what their actual political views, I don't know. But anyway, this is the aftermath so far is what we're looking at. This, of course, all happened last week on the 7th, when all this stuff kind of went down, and they were on a trend upward, something apparently must have happened right there for a negative 64. But yeah, we get down here and then they start bleeding followers left and right all the way to today as of recording. Continues to bleed little followers, and they don't have a whole lot to begin with. I mean, but yeah, that's essentially where we are on this. And then there's, of course, talks about them not wanting to honor refunds and stuff, which, of course, is what I had to also go ahead and take a look at because I was curious to know, what is their refund policy and stuff. But yeah, as you can see, they're still up compared to other people. They are down on the subscriber side or on the follower side, negative 673 as a result, which really isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things compared to what they have. But then again, how much of this is actual fans versus, bots and other things, we really don't know. I've seen plenty of things flow through where I think a good chunk of my followers are just essentially bot accounts trying to get people to pay for their poor services or whatnot. But anyway, aside from that, we got limited run games here. Of course, this is corresponding with what we we're just talking about, Jan 8 here, and everything from there to current day, as of right now, which is the 16th of recording. This will be out on the 17th. They've turned off their comments. And there's a reason for that, because everything before then does have comments, right? Let's see. What is this one? I haven't clicked on this one. Let's see. LRG respects all personal opinions. However, we remain committed to supporting an inclusive culture. Upon investigating a situation, an employee was terminated. Oh yeah, this is the termination of their community manager. tweet. Our goal as a company is to continue to foster a positive and safe environment for everyone. I would beg to differ. Yeah, considering your community manager did nothing wrong, and we're looking at old tweets and other things. But anyway, so you got people who are quite upset about this, right? And it's no different on the other tweets as well. You come up to the other ones on Jan 7th, and you've got, oh, I was wondering why people were mad. Thank you for not supporting discrimination. Go woke, go broke. Looking forward to seeing the next balance sheet. Nope, trash company. Got sort of mixed things going in here. Too bad you weren't publicly traded. Not buying your stuff anymore. I'll never buy anything from you again. Disgraceful decision. Anyway. Yeah. So since then, they naturally have turned it off because they stepped into a hornet's nest and they're not interested in listening to your opinions because they're so committed to inclusivity and, all that good jazz that they can't support or they can't be bothered to listen to other people's opinions. Hey, this thing looks like it refreshed it differently this time. Who got fired? L. Okay. Let's see. Bay. Person who will go through 6 years of your tweet history to see if you stepped out of line at some point. Apparently, this is the person who did the thing, right? A brony, essentially. Anyway, so the other part of this was I was curious about the refund policy because people are talking about how they're not refunding, and then a few said, yeah, they will refund, and all this other stuff. So I went looking. This is the current day page of things like this. And according to current day, they don't refund. All right. Limited run games, it is on their EULA, it's on their thing. They do not refund. Now, they will do it case by case, but there's no guarantee that your cancel item will actually be cancelable because of how they run things. All right. And of course, down here, there's a return and exchange policy. We understand that life happens. Thankfully, our support team has the ability to look at each other on each order on a case-by-case basis to see if you qualify. You may ask return or exchange 30 days of delivery. Of course, any items, including email digital keys, cannot be returned. And here you can click to submit your ticket. But yeah, so they don't really refund typically. So I'm not surprised that they're not refunding a whole lot for people who are upset over this particular thing that has happened and aren't refunding. And I know you're going to say, but see, what about before this? And you're right, I had to look. So here we are on the Wayback Machine on the 6th. This is the day before anything went down, right? And it's the exact same thing. They actually have not changed it. And I know we have seen this time and time again, where we can go and we can look at these policies and see that there's a sudden change in them or something within a day when something major goes down to now say something completely different from what it did, because we've looked at Twitch who did that and several other companies who have done that in the past. Unfortunately, Limited Run Games is not one of those people, or unfortunately, I guess fortunately, I don't know. Anyway, they're one of those who have not actually changed any of that language. It is exactly the same as it currently is. How's that? So yeah, if you're not getting a pre-order, you should have known that beforehand. I'm sorry, there's not a whole lot. I can't jump onto that bandwagon and demand pre-orders, pre-orders and stuff like that be refunded when it comes to limited run games, just due to the fact that the way they're set up, there's no guarantee that you can. You can possibly refund it. It's, of course, done by case by case. It doesn't really go into specifics on any of that. So, it is what it is when it comes to that. Sorry. However, I do think that they misstepped when they did this firing. They shouldn't have done that. And, it's another trash company that has been trash, who provides a service that, is kind of needed for certain people. But at the same time, trash company does trash thing. Why am I not surprised? Yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.